This is the project we're going to do today. I'm calling this one Bon Voyage. And these are the stamps that were used. These leaves on this side were Stampscapes leaves 399E. The little sailboat was from the Stampscapes Nature Sheet 17. This tree that we had on the other side is the Stampscapes Nature Sheet 8. The island back here is the Isle Medium, number 2, 435D. This island was Isle Large, 393E. The sailboat was Cruise Ship by Grey Wolf Graphics. This one was the Isle Foreground, 434E. And the two grasses that were used in the foreground was from Makin A Scene Grasses, mirrored set, T8-187D. And here are the different inks and markers that were used to color the piece. I will also have this in the description of the video. And so let's begin. Okay, I'm going to stamp on a quarter sheet of Kromekote glossy cardstock, and I'm going to use actually 2 of my creative corners, my Misty Creative Corners, because I want to offset the paper more than I usually do. So I'm going to use this little corner one with the magnets, and then my normal ruler that I use. And then I'm going to put the Kromekote paper right in there. Remove the Misty Creative Corners. And I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black. And I will start by inking up the foreground stamp, the ship, and the little sailboat. Okay, and next I will stamp in the islands. Tree that's on this side. Okay, next I'm going to re-ink this using a Tombow marker, number 177, and I will use the edge of the brush tip to color in the leaves. And now I'll use 977, it's a brownish color, to color in the branches of it. And now I'll stamp in the tree that's on this side. Now I'll color in with the same Tombow markers, starting with the green and the brown for the branches. Okay, now I'm going to give this a chance to dry, and we'll be back in a little bit. And I prepared a mask for the boat, or actually the ship. And then I'm going to start by putting on some Soft Sky Stampin' Up ink. And I will use one of my blending brushes that I have that I bought from Amazon. And then I will just start applying the blue. And I'll just clean off the brush on a dry microfiber cloth in between the different colors. And next I will use Pool Party. Okay, now I want to set a horizon line, so I'm going to put some Post-it masking tape, and I am going to set a horizon, maybe about right like this. And then I'm going to go over again. This one is the Pool Party. Okay, next I'll do some Marina Mist. And then Island Indigo. Okay, now I'll remove the mask here that I have, and I will remask up at the sky. And I will start with the Marina Mist. And Island Indigo. Okay, for backing these mountains here, I'm going to use some old olive, and I'm going to use my small brush with the rounded head. Okay, and I'll also put some garden green. Okay, and I also want to add a touch of brown, so I'm going to add some soft suede. Okay, for the lifeboats on the cruise ship, I'm going to use some YR18. And for the body of the ship, which is mostly white, I'm going to use some Cool Gray 4 in the darkest areas of the ship. Then some Cool Gray 2, C2. And then blend that all in with C0. And the sails and the little sailboat in the background, I'm going to use some Y26. And for the body of the little sailboat, I'll use some B97. Okay, I'll use some more C4 on this part of the boat to get it a little darker. Okay, now I'm going to use some white gel pens. I'm going to use Signo Uniball. The bigger one is the UM-153, and the finer tip is UM-120 AC.1. And so for the areas in the front, I'll use the thicker pen, and I want to just add some water details. And around the islands, I'll use the finer tip. Well, actually, I think I'll use the thicker tip over here by the islands also. Okay, I'm going to use some Hero Arts Unicorn White Pigment ink to add some fluffy clouds up into the sky, and so I'm going to use a Q-tip for that. And so I'll just put some of it on the Q-tip and then pound most of it off onto just a blank piece of paper. And then just add a little bit of fluffiness for clouds. Okay, and since I've added the pigment ink, I've kind of lost the bushes here, and so I'm going to re-stamp these two tree Okay, I'm going to stamp some grasses into the foreground, and I'll use some Stampin' Up Old Olive for that. And so I'll use the grass that is facing to the left for the left-hand side, and then the stamp that's facing the other way. Okay, I'm going to give all this a chance to dry, and then we'll be back. Okay, there's a little bit too stark of a difference between where the foreground stamp is and the grasses, so I'm going to stamp some of the grasses using Memento Tuxedo Black. Okay, the Memento Tuxedo Black isn't quite dark enough, so I'm going to try using some of my Versafine Onyx Black pigment ink. Okay, and I'm going to give this pigment ink down here a good chance to dry, and then we'll be back. Okay, now I'm going to sign and date it. Okay, and now I'm going to give this a chance to dry, then I will spray it with my acrylic coating spray, and when I'm finished with that, I'll be back. Okay, I didn't like the gel pen that I had up here by the horizon, so I've just kind of scraped it off with my fingernail just to kind of lighten that up a bit. So, okay, and I'm still going to let this dry a bit. I probably am going to let it dry several hours before I spray it, because all this pigment ink that I put on here, it's going to take quite a while before it dries. Okay, this has been drying now for a few hours, and so I'm going to take it outside, and I'm going to spray it with some of my Krylon UV resistant clear acrylic coating, and when I'm finished, I'll be back. Okay, and here is the final result after I finished spraying it with the acrylic coating, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!